This is highlights from a single round of King of the Hill Infantry Only, playing on Code4 Gaming's EU number 5 server. Unfortunately, when I was recording this, I actually didn't notice that my voice was not being recorded, so I'm doing a voiceover afterwards this time. I actually used to do that on most of my videos a few years back, but these days I prefer to do live commentary. I think it sounds more interesting to get the reactions live as I'm actually saying it. But anyway, playing with a couple of friends, we're playing on Op4, and although the green team, Independent, does actually dominate this round, we do actually give them a bit of a run for their money on Op4. Right, so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get into the prio. Just noticed an enemy back here as I was coming back here to revive this friendly. So I managed to take out that enemy. And as I went out to do the healing, just noticed this other enemy out here as well. But the guy I went back here to revive has actually respawned, so... Oh well, it's still worth getting the two enemies though. Right, I've noticed someone firing from the tower up here. Just trying to get the scope in the right place there. Switched into under barrel 50. Now you see, I had to aim just a little bit high there. My gun was zeroed for 200 meters, so that means that guy was just over 200 meters. I had to aim for the tip of his head. Did actually hit him in the head. Anyway, we're in the prio now. We've actually taken control of the whole AO and getting red team some points, trying to catch up with Independent at this point. We can hear gunfire coming from one of the buildings in front of us. Switch the under barrel 50. I don't know if it could shoot through that without him sticking his arm through or not, but I'm not sure, but managed to get him anyway. And yeah, one of my friends upstairs was just saying there was another enemy there, so yeah, just managed to get him as well. Now we're still in control of the whole AO at the moment, still getting some points on Op4. Not quite in the prio, I'm just outside the prio at the moment, but I've heard gunfire coming from the tower here. I can see some people running up, but just having a quick look at the windows, but can't see anyone, so I'm going to try and shoot these guys as they're going up the tower. The first one's actually in there already, but I did actually manage to get the second one. Take a few shots at the heli, random shots, just in case I can do some damage, take someone out. Always worth it, especially if you've got a heavy caliber gun. So my team's still controlling the whole AO at this moment. We've really managed to get the points a lot higher. We're doing a lot better than Blue 4 at this point anyway. We still haven't caught up with Independent yet though, but heard this vehicle coming in, so good opportunity to take something out with the rocket launcher. And moved up to the car that I'd just taken out, and some of our friendlies are being taken out, so I did hear where the gunshots were coming from, and I managed to shoot the guy that was shooting at us, but unfortunately not in time to save the friendly there. In that sort of situation, you've got to be as quick as you can to save your friendlies, and unfortunately, because I was like standing around too much, I've ended up being hit. Standing still too much out in the open. So, coming back in an aeroplane. Switch the engine off as I'm starting to get close. Adds a little bit of a stealth element to it, so I'm going to try and base jump, try and like spend as little time in the air parachuting as possible, so there's less chance of being shot while parachuting. But right at the last second I just noticed I'm actually going a bit too low, and I put the nose up and then jumped out, which has just flung me up in the air a bit. Not ideal, not what I was going for, but I've ended up in the air a lot more longer than I had originally intended, but luckily I'm getting away with it, despite the fact that I've taken fire. I've actually landed here to try and get a shot on this heli, and unfortunately just a split second too late there, I think. Someone else in my team got it, I believe. Well, someone else got it anyway, but luckily for me there's another enemy heli right there. 5 kills and 1 shot, pretty happy with that. Let's ditch the launcher in the backpack, so I don't need those anymore, that's unnecessary weight right now. I can hear gunfire coming from this building right in front of me. Pretty sure the enemy didn't see me at this point. But it appears he did know I was coming. I don't know if he could hear me or if he did see me while I was at the front of the building. Quite possibly he did see me in third person view while I was at the front of the building. Just checking it's clear. Yep, there's no other enemies up here. Right, Indy have taken back control of the AO now, and I am in the prio, but there's just not enough of us in the prio to take the points off Indy at the moment. Got some gunfire coming at us from this direction I'm looking in there, and I can't quite tell exactly where it's coming from.
Cheers, Chris.
That's why these friendlies are throwing smoke down to stop some of this gunfire. While looking for this gunfire, I've seen a couple of enemies trying to cross the road here. See, we've definitely got shots coming in, but I just cannot see where from. now I'm just about to be outside the prio as well, so I'm moving to try and stay in the prio. And this enemy heli comes and lands right next to me. I've got no rockets, so I'm just going to shoot the hell out of it with the barrel 50. And unfortunately I need to reload before I can shoot that last guy. Just having a look for him now. I've reloaded. I'm not sure if he's been killed. I have got a kill assist, but I don't know if it's from that guy I saw or not, and I've just taken fire from somewhere else there. I was definitely lucky not to be killed by that. Anyway, I'm trying to get back into the prio, pretty far away from it at the moment. And again, quite luckily for me, an enemy heli is trying to land really close to us. I'm not sure why they're trying to land here. And yeah, that was very unfortunate for those guys. 6 kills for me, because he was coming in with some pretty good cover there. He's still pretty open to some of the towers, I guess, but yeah, you've really got to be careful landing helis in the AO, especially when you've got like that many people on board. You're just getting too many easy kills for the enemy. Yeah, I could hear that guy shooting. Again, he was shooting one of my friendlies, and unfortunately I was not fast enough to save the friendly. Don't think I could have been too much faster than that, though, to be fair. Right, try and drag this body inside the building. Way too dodgy to try and revive him outside. Let's go into the corner here, so if anyone comes into the building I should be able to hear him. That might give me just a second to be able to cancel the revive if I do hear any enemies running towards us. Always listen out for footsteps in this game. Footsteps and gunshots. And you'll find that the more you get used to the game, the further away you can hear the gunshots from. Sometimes they're so far away you don't really pay any attention, but when you play the game quite a lot you end up... the area covered by your situational awareness increases, you find, the more hours you put into the game.
Is it smoky enough? There's a dude actually.
And yeah, there's a couple of enemies been driving around the AO in Striders, and you don't actually see that so much these days. You used to see it a lot before the MAAWS, but now with the MAAWS it's pretty dodgy to do that. And I was pretty lucky actually to be the one to get the kill on them there, I'd say.
I had no chance. I got him through the wall.
Right, now, Ob4 actually does have the whole AO, but I'm still going to try and move closer to the prio anyway.
I shot him through the wall.
Trying to shoot the parachuter there. And unfortunately I failed, someone else managed to get him. But I've used up all my rockets, and I don't actually mind dying so bad right now, so I can respawn and get some more rockets. Playing with that kind of attitude, you can get, you can get quite a lot of kills with the rocket launcher that way, but obviously you're going to get killed a lot more also. But you end up with some, I end up recording some pretty interesting situations where I just take that kind of risk just for the hell of it. Yeah, there's definitely someone trying to take me down here. I'm just about getting away with it right now. Changing to the binoculars to run faster, it's not something that I do much. I'm doing it a little bit more these days, but I like to have the gun out most of the time. See, if there'd have been an enemy in this building, I'd have stood no chance if I run in there with my binoculars. But I've managed to get myself right next to the prio. I've not gone into it yet. Our team still have control of the whole AO without me getting into the prio. But me and my mate Bambi here, we can hear some gunfire coming from just out here. We're having a look around before we go out there.
Thank you, sir.
Again, random shot of the heli. Not sure if I got any points, did any damage, but at some point later in the round, if that heli crashes, I might get some points for that. Or if someone else takes it out, I might get a kill assist.
But I can't push my.
I'm trying to move up onto the prio, but still looking out for where these gunshots had come from that we could hear a minute ago.
Is it on your up that road where I said he was in the bushes up the road? He's shooting at me now.
Yeah, my mate Bambi's taking some fire from just in front of me. I'm trying to move up to the position where I can hear the gunfire coming from. Just unexpectedly encountered another enemy there. But I'm trying to get round the side a little bit of where I can hear this gunfire coming from. A bit of a side flank, but before I got there I got taken out by someone else. Unless there was the guy we could hear firing, and he moved as well, of course. But anyway, I've got myself back into the AO. Me and this other guy from our team here, we're trying to get into the prio. And I accidentally just pressed the wrong button. I was trying to change to binoculars to quickly run across the road there and did completely the wrong thing. So I decided not to try and change the binoculars again and just run in there with my gun this time. And there is some contact right in front of us here. I'm trying to spot these enemies as I'm moving up to the prio. Indy in control again. They're getting themselves really high on the points right now. We definitely have a hard time keeping up with them, but we are trying. Just having a look around, seeing what I can hear. Some gunfire pretty close, but I can't actually see where any of it's coming from. Ah, I see this guy. Yeah, I was looking for the gunshots I could hear. Doesn't go through all walls. Some walls are still too tough, and sometimes even if you do shoot them through a wall, it's not necessarily a one-hit kill. Might have to hit them a couple of times. But we managed to get him in the end. Pretty sure that was the same guy. Definitely looked like him anyway. I could hear someone healing downstairs, so I quickly ran down to see this guy healing himself in the corner of the building, unluckily for him. And I can actually hear some footsteps quite near to me. I'm just going to reload a sec. Yeah, I can hear someone's coming in the building. He obviously knew I was there as well. He's probably talking to the other guy. No joy shooting him through the wall, so just actually moved in to see him through the open doorway there and tried to shoot him there. Luckily he moved back into the open doorway himself as well, was able to get him. And yeah, pretty lucky to get away with that actually. And that's one situation in which the underbarrel 50 is really handy, where you can just switch to the underbarrel if you've just used up all your main magazine. It's like instantly being able to switch up to a backup weapon, except it's a 50 cal. But didn't manage to get that guy that I could see across the road there, and another enemy got me, so coming back in a plane again. I usually jump at around 150 meters just to be safe. You can jump at a bit lower than that, but you've got to be careful. You know, as the terrain below you is going up and down, you can suddenly be a lot closer than 100 meters when you're flying that low. It's very easy to be too close to deploy the parachute when you're flying that kind of altitude as well, so you've got to watch out for that. But anyway, got myself into the AO and straight into the prio as well. Once again, we're doing what we can to get the lead back from Indy, but yeah, that turned out to be a pretty good shot on the heli. I'm pretty happy with that one. You don't always take the Huron with one rocket, but I managed to get it then. Possibly it already had some damage. And you can see we still got quite a lot of op4 really going for it, trying to not to let Indy get an easy win here at the end, but we're still in the prio, but there's just too many Indy in the whole AO by the look of it. We can't quite get it back off them.
He was less than 100 meters from my body.
And they're just about to get the win right at the end of the round here.
Whoa.
And yeah, unfortunately, Indy totally stormed it, but we did what we could, and it was actually really good fun to play, of course.
Yeah.
So overall, yeah, that went pretty well, I think. I didn't quite get the win, that was down to Vlad. He does really well, that guy. He did particularly well this round as well.
Bloody was the top fucking boy. I'm glad I got him at the end.
But yeah, I think it's always a bit more fun when at least two of the teams can put up a bit more of a fight rather than just being one totally one-sided game. Definitely more fun like that, and opportunity for a lot more kills as well, of course. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. See you next time. Take it easy.